Do you hate ads? I hate ads. You know what I love? Patreon.com/inkdependence, where patrons get access to a patron-only Discord, ad-free videos, and the joy of knowing they help support this channel. Hello folks, welcome to Inkdependence. I'm Mike, and today I have a very special pen to show you. This is from Benu pens. You can find them at benupen.com or shop.benupen.com, I think. And this is a really cool pen. So what happened was Benu Pen reached out to me and said, hey, Mike, we like what you do on your channel, and if you want to check out one of these pens, we'd love to send you one. And I said, absolutely. I love Benu pens. They write really well. They look cool. I don't have too many of them, but I like them a lot, especially this this style that we have here. So what we'd really like you to do is check out one of our painted pens. And I said, awesome. And they said, pick one. I'm like, oh no, so now I have a choice. So I went through a whole bunch of pens. They have so many of these beautiful painted pen varieties and styles, and I narrowed it down to a top 4 because I just couldn't pick one. I don't know, I just couldn't do it. There are too many good ones, and they said, great, we'll totally pick one of those for you. And so they did, and that's what's here. So when I got this in the mail about right about a month ago as I am filming this, I didn't know what pen it was. I do now for sure because it's here in my hands. I've been using this thing. So let's get in here. Inside the box, you have this little kind of like folder paper thing, which is got the pen inside of it. Then you have some warranty and instruction material here about how to care for the pen and all that jazz. Right there. Store your pen with the writing point upright. Only use fountain pen ink. Keep it clean. Don't burn it. Etc., etc. Don't use abrasive materials. That's a really good idea. Strong shocks. Don't blast it. All right, yeah, this is good stuff. Inside here, you have some just like padding stuff, a little bit of shredded paper there, which is nice, and then a cartridge. I believe the converter was also in there, but I can't remember actually off the top of my head at the moment. This is a standard international cartridge. However, it is the long variety. You don't see these too often, but they'll fit in your other standard international cartridge pens if you want them to. There are a few brands that'll use that kind of stuff. That's interesting to see. All right, so let's get into this little sleeve because man, this is a cool pen. I'm really glad they chose this one, although I would have been happy with any of them, honestly. This one is super cool. Also, I wanted to, there's no plastic in this packaging stuff, and I dig that. All right, so this is the pen. It's called Neptune's Reach, and it has this really beautiful octopus on here. Really, really pretty octopus. He's got a little bit of shimmer on him as well, which is kind of interesting. These pens are all hand painted, as I said, and that's really impressive. In fact, seeing this, I was like, there's no way this is actually hand printed or hand painted. It's got to be like they do a painting and then they, I don't know, stamp it or some such thing. Nope. These are hand painted by miniature artists. I went and I sent them emails. I was like, hey, I want to know more about this. Let me know about how this happens. And they said, yeah, so what happens is they have a bunch of miniature artists and others that they partner with to paint a zillion of these pens. I don't know how many there are of each. They have like differing numbers, I suppose, but man, this is so good. Look at all the detail on the little tentacles. It's like kind of holding hands with itself back here, holding tentacles with itself. It's got these little suckers on there, each one. Look at all those. Look at that. You got the eyes on there. It's so like soulful looking, and I don't know. I just really like this octopus. It's just a super cool octopus, and they painted it around a pen, which is just really impressive to me. I'm just super impressed with this painting stuff. This particular design is done by an artist named Natasha Doronkina. I hope I'm saying that correctly. If I'm not, I'm very sorry, but this is beautiful, and thank you very much to Natasha Doronkina for making this amazing pen, because it's gorgeous. Now, the material itself is also very nice. I didn't expect it to be quite as shimmery. Benu pens are known for being very bright pens. Like, they are bright, they are kind of loud. Some of them are extremely loud. So if you don't want to be noticed, maybe there aren't going to be too many Benus that will be very subtle. There are some, but not too many. The material itself, very, very shimmery. It's this kind of aqua blue color up here. It's just too blue to be a teal, I think. It's kind of an aqua color. And then you have some chunkier bits of glitter in there, which are reflecting nicely there in our camera lights. Some up here on the finial as well. And actually, I just noticed that there's a band of that glitter going through here, right behind Mr. Octopus. Right there. It's kind of obscured, but it's definitely there. Really nice. And then once they have done the artwork on here, they protect it with a layer of transparent acrylic top coat. So I was expecting like some kind of maybe like just I don't know, like a lacquer or something, but no, transparent acrylic. And I kind of wonder if that's like the transparent acrylic I'm seeing here. You can actually see there's like a place where maybe the blank stops, and then this is the transparent acrylic on the outside. So maybe this is thicker than I think it is. It's really hard to tell, but it might be it might be thicker than I thought, which is pretty neat. I like that this is protected well because it's a beautiful piece of painting, and I also love how it kind of gets darker as you go down. It's got sort of like a gold wash or something over the top, and I'm not sure if that's part of this transparent acrylic bit or if it's just something that's just over the octopus. I don't know. I think it's really neat though. The clip on here, very functional, perfectly good functional clip there. Says Benu here on the cap band, and that's about it. The cap band on this version is very subtle. Some of the other ones have a bigger, chunkier like design on the cap band that can draw a lot of attention to it. And I know some folks don't love that. I think it's usually pretty cool, but this one just says Benu, which is very understated. Opening up the pen does take a couple of turns. Actually, I never counted. Let's see how many turns we got here. It takes. This is my one complaint about the pen is it takes a few too many turns to uncap. So let's see. There's 1, 2. 3 and just a bit, 3 and like I don't know, an eighth or something. So a fair number. I did notice that when I was writing notes and that sort of thing, because I'll cap it and then uncap it again, and it took a while to uncap. So this does really well in something like a pen well or something like that, but it does take a few turns to uncap for sure. Inside the cap there, you'll see there isn't a cap liner, or at least. Oh, you know what? I think there might be. Huh. Actually can't really tell. It's so far in there. Let me grab a flashlight. We'll just see for sure. No, it doesn't look like there's actually a cap liner in there. It looks like just it's very nicely shaped toward the end there, so you're not going to get a lot of air around your nib. And I have found that my Euphoria pens will stay wet and usable for a really long time, just sitting in the drawer capped if you leave them that way. By the way, this is one of the Euphoria sized pens, which is I think my favorite size so far, although I'm looking for that Pixie soon. But yeah, really pretty. Nice long section here, very smooth threads, so even if you hold it fairly far back, like if your grip is back here or something like that, these are very, very nice threads. You can see that they're kind of, see, can I focus on them? There we go. You see they're flattened off. Very comfortable. The rest of the section here is likewise pretty comfortable, and you have a little lip here, which will keep you from getting onto the nib. You can see the sort of copper, maybe it's brass, I guess brass ring around the inside here. Those Schmidt nib units will have that, and it keeps them from cracking or whatever. It kind of keeps them together and gives them some more extra sturdiness. These are Schmidt nibs that they use in here, and I've been really liking the Schmidt nibs on these Benu pens. They've all been really nice that I've used. This is obviously a medium. It's got the M up there front and center, and you actually see a little bit of purple in the grooves, and that's because I have a nice purple ink in here called Flow, which seemed appropriate. Opening up the pen, it unscrews here like that, and you've got your converter inside there. This is a standard international piston converter, also made by Schmidt. Those are kind of industry standard, I think, for those. No, nothing up here like threading or anything like that. It's just a standard converter. You can unscrew these nib units and swap them out for other nib units if you'd like. They are available and easy to swap. You just grab it and just unscrew it from the inside and then screw it back in. So there you go. Let's do a little bit of a writing sample, and then we'll look at it next to a bunch of other pens. So hold on, let me grab some paper. All right, this is just a little Clairefontaine notebook that I like to use for these little writing samples. All right, yeah, these write really nicely. They've got a fairly wet nib on them, I think, and I've used them with shimmer inks and all that kind of thing in the past, and they've always performed very, very well. This ink is called Flow, and it's a very nice deep purple color. You can see you get some of the shading and that sort of thing from this nib on this paper. And you saw there might have been like a little bit of a hard start there, but I had been waving it around with the nib off for longer than you think. So there's, it just dried out just a little bit, but it started writing really immediately right after that. So really good. I think that this pen writes really nicely and it looks great. Let's look at it next to a bunch of other pens. Okay, so here we have it next to a whole bunch of other pens. Here we have a Pelikan M600. This is the Cambon version. This is the Pilot Custom 823, which is one of my very favorite pens, and it's a great size, and it's the same size as the Euphoria. I actually hadn't noticed that until I put these next to each other, but there's a reason I like this size so much. Then the TWSBI Eco here, the Platinum 3776, and then the Leonardo Momento Zero, which this is a This is an Atlas Pens exclusive one with a crazy material on there, but maybe a little too crazy for my camera. Whoa, it's freaking out. But you can see this is right there in that kind of good size range. Let's take off a bunch of caps and see how they look uncapped. All right, there you go. These all uncapped. You can see the Euphoria here, the Neptune's Reach. It's a bit longer than all of the rest, but not tremendously. And it's such a light pen without having all metal fittings and stuff in the back or anything like that, that it doesn't feel back heavy to me with my larger hands. And also, my wife Audrey has she has smaller hands than I do, and it feels good for her too. So I think this is a very nicely balanced pen, even though it's a little bit longer than most of the other ones here and all the rest of the ones here in this lineup. So yeah, this is really good. Let me give you some stats right quick. When this pen is capped up, it reaches 5.85 inches there. When you uncap the pen, like this, you come up with 5.45 inches, so it doesn't get a whole lot shorter when you uncap it. Now, you can post this pen. I don't, because it's already long enough, and I don't want to take any risk with that artwork, although I with the acrylic top coat, I don't think it's going to be a problem. But when you have it posted, it is a pretty substantial 7.12 inches, which is a pretty long pen. And then the pocket depth, which is what I call this measurement between the bottom of the pen here and the top of the inside of the clip, right there, is 5.3 inches there. So it'll fit in a pocket, but it's going to have to be a fairly deep pocket, honestly. This is a long clip, so some of the pen might stick out, but it'll probably fit on most pockets, but it's a long pen, so it might stick out a bit from the average pocket. Now, for diameters and that sort of thing, the body diameter here at the widest is a little over half an inch. It's 0.57 inches or 14.7 millimeters. It is also at the cap here, you have 0.68 inches, which is 17.4 millimeters. And then the section here, it kind of depends on where you grab it, but anywhere in between here, it's going to be from 9.5 to 11 millimeters, depending on where you hold it in here. But that's kind of right in my wheelhouse. I really like a 10 or 11 millimeter section. So like right down here, what is absolutely the skinniest is 9.5. So if you hold it very, very close to the nib, that's going to be 9.5. But up here where I hold it, it's really more like 10-ish. So yeah, good sizes, good measurements, great writing, beautiful artwork here. I mean, this is a great pen. Check out all of their awesome artist edition, like hand-painted pens over on their website, which is shop.benupen.com. And I'll have there's actually a link down there which they asked me to put up so they could see when y'all come from here. It's not an affiliate link or anything. It's just to help them track, who's coming from where. So go ahead and, use that link. It might be helpful. So there you go. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know which Benu pens are your favorite, because I need to get more of these, honestly. And, I'll see you in another video soon. Until then, think about what you put out in the world. Make it a better place. Peace out, everybody.